Well, it's 8:30 now on Saturday the 22nd of May 2021, and here I am in Kirkrcudbright, or in English Kirkcudbright. I'm doing a little bit of a, when I say a special favour, it's not a special favour at all really. My cousin Mike Evans, who, for those of you who have been watching the films right from more or less day one, you might remember I was passing through Hornsey on the east coast, which is about 15 miles east, sort of northeast of Hull. And I'd walked from Grimsby and then to the Humber Bridge and then out to the east coast to Spurn Point and then heading up the coast. And we sat there and chatted for a while, and I went to watch him playing bowls, and we were talking about the Lykewake Walk, which is one thing that we both remembered well, having done it many times when we both used to be with Fish Trades Boys Club. And just reminiscing, sitting over a cup of coffee, it was lovely. But Mike was an accountant, and he used to work, he's always more or less been in the dairy kind of industry, you know, milk marketing, all that kind of thing. And he sent me a message a couple of weeks ago saying, Jim, when you walk through Kirkcudbright, he says, would you have a look to see if the building that I used to work at for many years ago is still there? He says, don't know whether you can find it. He says, ask around, he says, and somebody will tell you. Well, as it happens, I went for a pint last night in the Kirkcudbright Hotel, and I was talking to the landlady, a very knowledgeable, lovely woman, saying, can you remember where there would have been a sort of something to do with the milk industry, a kind of a factory? She says, I think you mean the creamery. I says, well, it could have been that, yeah. So she says, yeah. She says, when you walk over the bridge, if you're going out to the west of Kirkcudbright, then yeah, you'll see it on. Well, you'll see the remains of where it was. It's been demolished years ago, and they're building new houses on it now. So Mike will be very pleased to see, when I say very pleased, he'll be very sad to see that it's gone now. So here's what's left of it, Mike. And have a good day, I hope you're well, and I'll see you when all this is over, mate. I'll come over to Hornsey and have a pint with you. All right, mate? Nice one. Here's the remains of the place that you worked at, I think only for a couple of years, but you said you really liked it up here. And one thing that you really did notice was the absolute lack of traffic. I mean, it's 8:30 now on a Saturday morning, and I've seen there's one car moving and there's another car moving. It really is a quiet place, isn't it? And I like what you're saying about there's not much traffic. So here we are. This is what's left of the place that you used to work at. So as you can see, mate, there's nothing at all. It's just like a security fence, and beyond that I would imagine those houses look a little bit older, maybe 10 years old or something like that. But that's it. There's nothing left, mate. All gone. Well, I've been walking about an hour now, doing really well actually, bearing in mind that the walk out of Kirkcudbright is very uphill, and I've got to the top of the hill and I'm just having a rest here just inside this farmyard. I've just seen the farmer sort of go past on his tractor. You can probably just hear him. But what fascinates me is there's a woodpecker in these trees around here. You can hear it really clearly, and it's having a right old session, and I was hoping to have let you hear it, but no, it's going well. I had a good night's sleep last night. I went for a pint at the Kirkcudbright Hotel. It was like a time warp, to be honest with you. It was like something that's... It was very nice, don't misunderstand me, but it was like a really old-fashioned hotel with a snug and a sort of a men's room and all this kind of stuff. And it really was, you know, a blast from the past, you know. I used to work for a company in Dundee at one time, and I used to go up to Dundee and thought that was a bit old-fashioned, and that's many years ago, early 80s, I think. But I had one pint actually. That's all. They didn't sell Stella, but they sold some Estrell, I think it was called, and do you know, it was absolutely fabulous. And I was thinking, when was my last pint? Well, I did go for a pint with my daughter Sam and Rick in Manchester just before I left. You know, maybe 2 or 3 days before I set off on this journey. But before that, it would have been back in like August when I was walking on the Leeds and Liverpool Canal. And it was really nice to have a proper chilled pint. I mean, one of the problems I've got in the van is I wish I had a beer fridge, you know, proper fridge that kept beer cool. But I haven't got the room for it, and you know, it's just a little luxury that it's not really necessary, is it? But no, I'm doing okay. A bit confused actually. I looked on the net this morning to see the distance from A to B, and it said 8 miles. And looking at it on my map, it says 8 miles or thereabouts. But there was a sign as I was coming out just before that bridge that said 15 miles, which is kind of, when I say upset me, it wouldn't be a problem if it was actually, because if I couldn't make it, the bus is backwards and forwards on this road anyway, and I can catch that anyway. I've got to do that at some point to get back to Kirkcudbright anyway. But it's all going well. One last thing, I got a phone call from my friend Ralph this morning at about 7 o'clock, and he's fine, and he's saying that he's not making any arrangements or anything. He says, but it's likely that him and his wife are going to come up, and Mel, sorry, I nearly forgot her name then, Mel, they're going to come to Scotland for a bit of a break. They don't know whether it's going to be a walking break or whatever it is, but he's sold his car now, so he's just driving his camper van around all the time now. And I was saying, well, you're welcome, you know, you're welcome, Ralph, and we had a bit of a natter for about 20 minutes, and he was in good frame of mind. Like me, he was like really sick of all the lockdown and everything, and he just wants to get out and do some walking. And you know, he's going to keep in touch anyway. That's very nice, and it wouldn't surprise me if I don't see him once I've got out of this situation. Once I'm on the west coast or north of Glasgow, I think it's more likely then, which is more likely to be sort of into June or July, when the weather has eventually settled. So I'll press on. It's 11:15 now, and I've slowed down quite a lot. Not in the slightest bit worried about it. Some quite steep hills. My left knee's hurting a bit this morning for some reason. I don't know whether I slept a bit awkward or something, but I've slowed down quite a lot. Just a minute. Oh my God. You probably saw just a little bit earlier, I passed more or less what I assume is the halfway stage. There was a house that I passed which was called the halfway house not that long ago, and then there was a sign there saying 4 to Kirkby and 3.5 to Borg. I'm wondering if Borg is a place or whether it's another name for the place that I'm going to. But I'll find out soon. I'm getting signs now for the main A75, so I can't be far away from there. And I'm doing okay. The weather's not materialised as it said it would. It's still quite cloudy. It doesn't look like threatening. The cloud is a lot higher than it usually is. And things are going great. Anyway, without waffling on, I'll see you later. It's exactly 1 o'clock now, and I've just reached Gatehouse of Fleet, which is my destination. I've just walked from where the A75 cross, where it says 3 miles. I've just walked that stretch absolutely non-stop, and this is the first place I've found to actually sit down. There is a definite shortage of seats and things like that on these long stretches of roads. But there's something more important I've discovered a lacking of, and that's bus stops. I haven't seen a bus today, and that's a little bit worrying. Have I got things wrong somewhere along the line, or maybe, I don't know what's happening. So I want to get to the, I want a cup of tea first of all, gagging, absolutely gagging. Then I'm going to find the public information centre here and get myself fitted up with the all the usual sort of bus brochures and stuff like that. It's been a great walk. I've enjoyed it. I've done well. I've gone through 1 or 2 pain barriers, but I've revived myself. I've brought just the right amount of food and water. My feet need a soak in. I need to put some insoles into. I've got loads of insoles. I must remember to do that because my feet are a bit sore. So they're due for another one of my special treatments, which is to fill a bowl of water as hot as you can, put some Listerine in it and let them stand for half an hour in the water, and that brings them up like brand new. Honestly, I can guarantee it. Really good idea. So I'm going to go now into the village and see what I can find. most perfect day that's gone extremely well. Things have changed. When I was walking into this wonderful village, the 431 bus was going out. And that would have been the 105. So I've looked on all the timetables. I'm not stupid. I can read the timetable, and there was one due at 2:05, and that didn't turn up. So now I'm waiting for the 3:05, and it's starting to irritate me a little bit. You know, I've just wasted 2 hours, or I will have wasted 2 hours, just sitting here waiting for a bus when I've got loads of things to do other than sit and wait for a bus. This is one of the problems you get in this business, I'm afraid. It's never easy, but something will turn up.